Apple is back with a huge bang. Apple announced the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus during the Far Out Apple event on September 7, 2022. These devices could easily be mistaken for their predecessors, minus the larger 6.7-inch model. Despite minimal external updates, Apple pushed these base models forward with several user-facing updates and quality-of-life improvements. The iPhone 14 Pro lineup saw more significant changes that widened the gap between Pro and base models, but customers have a clear through line for features and prices from top to bottom. If you saw the iPhone 14 Pro or Pro Max lying on the table, you'd be forgiven for thinking it was the iPhone 13 Pro. The design really is that similar. The iPhone 14 Pro shares the same cliff-edge design and gleaming stainless steel antenna band as its predecessor. As similar as the iPhone 14 Pro series looks to last year's models, the dimensions are slightly different and require a new case. But the differences are so small you'd never be aware of them as you hold the handsets. The feel in your hand, even with the larger Max, is manageable, similar to last year's models. Turn the iPhone over and the familiar matte finish back with glossy camera panel is visible. But the cameras are bigger than ever, and sit a little deeper than on the iPhone 13 Pro to accommodate the larger sensor of the 48-megapixel wide camera. Let's talk about the features. Apple has continued the approach of offering identical feature sets across models in the same device class. Therefore, there are no exclusive features for the larger iPhone 14 Plus besides the display size and battery life. Note that there isn't an iPhone mini in this generation. The 5.4-inch display size was eliminated in favor of the larger 6.7-inch model, allegedly due to a lack of demand for smaller iPhones. The new display of iPhone 14 is quite mesmerizing. The new iPhones have brighter displays with thinner bezels, though frankly, you'd again be hard put to spot the difference. Much easier to spot is that the new display is brighter and up to 2000 nits of outdoor peak brightness, so you can see your screen even in the California sun. The screen also has a higher brightness for HDR content. Apple also improves its ProMotion dynamic display, a feature first introduced with the iPhone 13 Pro. The ProMotion adaptive refresh rates now adjust between 1 Hz to 120 Hz, making for a smooth yet energy-saving experience. Going one step further, by achieving the ultra-low, battery-saving 1 Hz refresh rate, Apple was able to introduce its first always-on display. Now, moving ahead to design part, the notch, diagonal rear camera system, and aluminium chassis are the same. The 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR display is 460p. The bigger iPhone 14 Plus is a new model but takes on all aspects of the smaller version, including the same-sized camera bump. It uses a 6.7-inch Super Retina XDR display at 458p. However, it does not have ProMotion like the Pro model size it is emulating. Like the iPhone 13, the displays support HDR, True Tone, and have a P3 color gamut. The OLED offers a 2:1 contrast ratio, and 800 nits of brightness in normal use. The only notable design alteration is the lack of a SIM card tray in the US version of the devices. Apple has gone all in on eSIM support, so users won't have to bother with physical cards anymore. Apple this year has done a lot with cameras. Apple updated the newly dubbed main camera, formerly referred to as the wide camera, with a larger 12MP sensor with a wider f/1.5 aperture. This enables higher quality photos and faster low light performance. Apple clocks this at a 49% improvement in low light. The ultra-wide camera is unchanged, and there was no mention of the macro photography feature coming to non-Pro phones. Apple would need to add autofocus to the ultra-wide camera to enable the feature. The selfie camera is improved with an f/1.9 aperture and autofocus. When combined with the depth sensors used for Face ID, the selfie camera can take better photos faster. Also, improvements in the chipset enable 4K recording when using cinematic mode. Users can set 30 fps or 24 fps and take advantage of the better camera performance. The cameras here are outstanding, making easy work of low light situations and triumphing in brighter conditions. I found the cameras handled well, producing terrific images. About performance and battery life of the new iPhones, Apple claims the battery life has improved, placing the smaller 6.1-inch iPhone at 20 hours. During normal use, the iPhone 14 Plus can last up to 26 hours. Both models have fast charge support, officially rated as 20 watts. So, plug the iPhone into a 20 watts charger to get a 50% charge in about 30 minutes. MagSafe accessories and charging are also supported with no change over previous generations. The new iPhone 14 Pro series phones largely look and behave similarly to last year's models, apart from the glorious dynamic island and always on-screen features. The cameras are a major step up, and put Apple out in front to again of lip-smuckingly good photography. While these are not cheap handsets, they still represent a strong value for the features and capabilities they offer, and are the best iPhones you can buy today, with a few clever features, like the satellite connectivity, that put them ahead of the competition in some cases, just barely. Now moving on to the price list of the brand's new iPhone 14. Both models are available in blue, purple, midnight, starlight, and red. Storage can be configured to 128GB, 256GB, or 512GB depending upon choice. Apple began accepting pre-orders on September 9th. The iPhone 14 starts at $799 and ships to customers on September 16th, while the iPhone 14 Plus starts at $899 and ships on October 7th this year. Now let me know, what do you think about the new iPhone 14 in comment section? Every suggestion is much appreciated, and will you buy the new iPhone 14 right now, or you will wait for some time? Hope you enjoy our content. Please subscribe the channel as new videos are always coming.